Man, Rooster, it's got to be 5 o'clock somewhere.
Hey everybody, welcome back to
That show.
I'm Rooster.
I'm Bishop.
And today we're talking about cryptocurrency and the insane possibilities of currency for our
just
future.
crazy imaginary monies.
Our real money is imaginary, basically,
right.
Now that it's not actually on like a gold standard or anything. So.
Yeah, fiat-based currencies, right? Like if you actually look the definition up,
fiat-based, you told me about
it's insane. It literally has no value to it. It's only by promissory note.
Right. It's literally the value that we have all agreed upon. That's what it's worth. And as long as everybody agrees, then it's worth something.
I don't know about that.
It's not like real money where it's like you actually have a physical item that you can attribute to a certain amount of value. It's like, no, fucking cryptocurrency is just...
Yep.
It's in the fucking air. It's in the blockchain. It's gone.
It's literally air.
Right?
It's literally air.
It's literally a little electrical pulses. That is what it is. And it's worth fucking Bitcoin's worth like 30.
Oh, 60.
60? Oh, it did go up recently.
Yeah. $62,000. $62,000. It's a great concept. It really is. I mean, because what it does is it actually strips away the power of normalized banks, what we know as institutions.
Right.
Right? And as you work and, you bank money up in your life and hopefully, if you're successful, at least marginally, those banks will give you an interest. Right?
Not shit, though. What is it?
No, it's not. And that's the problem. It's like, wait a minute. I'm going to put my money in your bank, but you're going to give me 0.25% a year?
Right.
I got a hard time with that.
Right.
I got a really hard time with that. I think that, and that's what crypto is really based on it's, I feel like this, cryptocurrency is worth this amount. So I put my money into that, right? And you do a service, or you provide a service, or whatever, and I want to pay you, and you're willing to accept that currency because you believe it's worth the same thing, I could pay you directly, right? I don't have to use a bank.
Right, yeah.
Right? And that is what is so great about cryptocurrency, right? It totally strips away these second, third, and fourth party systems that regulate how you spend your money.
Is that different than just paying cash, though? Like if you were going to pay somebody cash, is that...
Yes and no, because then you talk about what currency are we talking about? Am I going to pay you in the Japanese dollar? It's a dollar.
It's still a dollar.
But it's not, is it?
No.
So there again, we're talking about fiat that isn't backed by a gold standard, silver, commodity of some sort. So the idea behind a cryptocurrency is it's a group of individuals that believe that currency is worth this amount of money, right? And the more people that invest in it, the greater the intrinsic value gets, because the supply for that dwindles, because usually these cryptocurrencies have a set number of coins that will be ever issued.
Supply and demand. It's basic economics.
Right. And which is perfect, right?
Right, exactly.
Which is perfect. What scares me a little bit is fucking lights go out, you are broke.
Right.
You are broke. You are not getting paid,
right,
dude.
For real. All this imaginary money is gone.
And you lose your passwords?
Right.
You are so jacked, it's not even funny.
Right.
You are so jacked. So, because you read in the news where these people that got into cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin especially from late 2009, early 2010, they got into it. They are buying these coins at 10 cents a piece. Bitcoin.
Yeah, right.
10 cents.
Right.
10 cents.
Now you can sell it for $66,000.
Yeah, I mean, you got
Jesus.
something $60,000 plus for that 10-cent coin you bought 11 years ago.
Jesus.
11. Think about that for a second.
Right. That's like what happened with fucking Dogecoin in the last week or two.
Oh, Elon Musk, that son of a bitch. That son of a bitch. You are a little wily little bastard. You are a little wily little bastard. You're making some crazy things happen. But no, it works good because you just made some money.
Yeah, exactly. I put
some money.
I put $100 in it probably 6 months ago, and I was just going to sit on it. Maybe not even that long
I don't think
ago.
it was that long.
Yeah. Maybe even 3 months ago or something, yeah. But yeah, it fucking blew up. I made a good $600, $500 or something. So.
Hey, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
Right? Capitalism at its best.
Right.
Right? Ingenuity of others that are securing information on a blockchain or just the transaction itself, and then it accrues in value because money flows in or somebody famous says it's going to be big. I wish I could do that.
Does that have a huge influence on it?
Apparently.
Somebody's like fucking...
Apparently.
Leonardo DiCaprio comes out and is like, yeah, fucking...
Oh, don't give him any ideas.
Dogecoin.
Stop giving him ideas. Disregard. It didn't happen. Stop giving them ideas. Because we need to be on the front side of this.
Right.
We need to be on the front side. You know, but the thing is like the market is so vast. It literally is so vast. And people say, well, it's not a big market. It's a $2 trillion
like,
market.
isn't it like in the trillions? Yeah.
Don't say.
Jesus.
Trillion.
Right.
I mean, what used to be this, little floating entity at about 500 billion, right? Which a bank or organization could just absorb. I mean, literally, you think about some
500 billion?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Right.
Jesus.
So the top banks in the world, right? And I don't know the exact statistics. I mean, there's beer here. Just stop. But it's in the trillions.
Yeah.
Like they move and flow something like $7 to $10 trillion a day.
Jesus Christ.
A day.
Yeah. Holy shit.
A day.
That's like the world's fucking economy, literally.
Right. And it's just like this ebb and flow movement in a bathtub. Like you just rock that thing and it just goes back and forth, right? Like you don't even know what's going on. But now, cryptocurrency is a complete market. $2 trillion?
Yeah.
That ain't chump change, bro. That is
fucking real.
That ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to erase that much debt, you would literally ensue world rioting.
Right.
I mean, people would be just killing their grandmas, throwing their dogs out a window, just doing all kinds of crazy shit. What is going on?
Jesus.
But, I think that's really where it's going to go because you have all these different avenues you can go down. Like there's coins out there that are strictly for storage purposes. If you have important documents you want literally locked away and secure and can't be changed at all.
You can put them on the blockchain?
Yeah, absolutely you can.
Wow.
You can buy houses. You can buy cars. You could pay for trips. I mean,
what do you mean? What does that have to do with the blockchain?
Because it's a contract that once it's done, whatever you agreed upon in that contract is locked in the blockchain. It's immutable, which means it cannot be changed.
Okay.
The agreement.
Okay, that makes sense because the blockchain.
You say I can rent your house for a week on the beach, right? And I say sure, great. I'm going to rent your house for a week on the beach. We agree on an amount. You say I want this much in Bitcoin. I say great. I give you that much in Bitcoin. That locks it. Now let's say something changes and you decide to change the terms. Well, you can't. You've already agreed upon it. I agree upon it, and it's in the blockchain.
Locked in the blockchain. Yeah.
And take your ass to court. And even though the dollar bill was never exchanged, Bitcoin was exchanged, right? And that contract is solid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? It cannot be altered.
Yeah.
So, and that's what's great about this is because don't you feel like there's a lot of times in life where somebody is like trying to pull a fast one on you? Like
all the time.
Right.
Yeah, everybody's fucking greedy as shit.
Right. And it's always about greed.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
People want more money. They want more.
Yeah.
Right? For something so little.
Yeah.
For what? For real? So in that instance, the security and safety feature is enormous.
Yeah.
Enormous. And now you got these companies that have coins that deal directly in real estate transactions, travel, information storage, like file storage. I mean, this is where money's going, right?
Yeah, I was going to ask you if you think that eventually cryptocurrency is going to take over, regular commonplace money and U.S. bills. Like, eventually, in 100 years, I mean, it would only make sense that all money is going to be digital with the way that our society moves.
Well, I mean, and, not to get political or geopolitical or anything like that, as the human race moves towards a one race mentality.
Yep.
Right?
Which I think we're moving towards. I mean, even though there's
unfortunately, I feel like we're at warp speed on that shit right now, right? I think there's still some fractioning, but that's besides the point. We've got we definitely will have to have a unified currency, something that instead of having to go and exchange the U.S. dollar for the Australian dollar, there has to be a unified currency that's accepted everywhere.
Yeah, and really the only plausible way to...
got me jacked. Got me jacked.
Yeah, and the only way to do that plausibly is through the blockchain. To make because then, like
a
you said,
digital currency.
Yeah, it's
a digital
completely
currency.
founded. You can't change it.
Right.
It's burnt in there.
Right. You know, and China's had a digital currency for several years.
That their people use?
Yep, absolutely.
Really?
Yep. It actually costs you more to use paper and coin than it does for the digital.
Wow.
So, and you know, now it's been all over the headlines that it ain't new. That shit has been there. It's a communist country. You don't think that they would want to unify something so they have complete control over it?
Right.
Right? Like, you do something wrong, they're like, oh, buy some milk now.
Buy some milk now. You're fucked.
So, I do see it. I mean, you know, maybe your kids or your grandkids, that'll be the way it is. I mean, we see movies all the time where they have credits, right? Like, oh, you get credits.
Yeah,
like Star Wars.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Right? And people want to sit here and they want to say how evil, you know, cryptocurrency is, and it's not real, and it doesn't exist, and
it's like our money isn't real.
Right.
It's literally the value we place on a piece of paper.
But I also say, neither is that fucking credit card you have in your pocket.
Right.
But yet, exactly. You are spitting the shit out of that one, and you're paying interest to something that didn't even exist.
Yeah, for real.
Right? Somebody's just saying you're worth the credit.
Yeah.
Well, cryptocurrency is the flip, right? You are only worth what you have put into it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right? So if you're somebody that's invested all your eggs in one basket into one cryptocurrency, and let's say, you know, you're balling, you're doing well, and you've been in that for a long time, and your net worth has gone through the roof, right? You got nothing to worry about. You got nothing to worry about at all, because you can go in and you can buy a product or a service. This is hypothetical because it doesn't exist yet, but it's coming.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
coming.
But it'll be here. Yeah,
because you can get credit cards now, prepaid credit cards and debit cards that are backed by cryptocurrency.
Mm.
So let's say 2009. I know that.
2009?
Yeah, you were.
I was like, what was I, 12?
Yeah. Shh. Don't tell everybody. But let's say, you know, grandma gave you $500 and you bought $500 worth of Bitcoin at 10 cents a piece. Are you kidding me?
Right.
In today's terms, dude, you are balling.
Yeah, for real, though.
You are literally balling, right?
Yeah,
and you've got a credit card that's backed by that because they're like, oh, Mr. Rooster, oh, you got $20 million in this account? What do you want, bro? What do you want?
Anything.
Same thing. But those funds are secured because that is actually money that was invested into a product, not just a signature or a social security number.
Hmm.
Right? So it's a little interesting. It's a little interesting. I think we're going to see some really crazy things happen. Stop fucking around with shit, Alon. Stop doing it. You are just screwing some shit up. You're screwing some shit up, bud.
This motherfucker is going to take over the world.
He's you know, we got to do a whole episode on him.
Yeah, for real though.
We really do.
He's an interesting character.
He has influenced so many facets of life that people don't even have any idea.
Yeah.
Right? Really, they really don't. He's just out of control.
Right.
He might be an alien.
Right.
He might be an alien.
Somebody asked in that interview, like, they're like, everyone's pretty sure you're an alien, so we've been trying to figure out how you come up with all these ideas and manage all this stuff. And he's like, maybe I am an alien.
Oh no.
You see a little antenna pop up behind him, like,
no.
Oh jeez.
He's a Martian. Marvin. His real name's Marvin.
Marvin the Martian.
No, but yeah, cryptocurrency. I think a lot of people really need to pay attention to it a lot more.
It's still crazy how many people totally have no belief in it and think that it's bullshit when the amount of change and like you said, the transfer of money that constantly occurs behind it and stuff, it's like, it's real and it's fucking coming.
Yeah, and it's present, without getting, personal information and everything, you've made some money in it, I've made money in it. the market is real. It's growing. It's not going to stop. Everybody needs to stop and take, a couple hours and just look at it, because there's something in there that's going to be of interest to you. Dogecoin over the last 2 weeks, I've been watching it. Last 5 days has been hot as a griddle. It is just up and down and all over. 2 days ago, it jumped 300% in 2 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah,
Yesterday, it jumped another 120%.
Yep.
It is just insane. Bitcoin, just from 2017 to now, it went, when it hit its highest peak at about $18,000, everybody's like, oh my God, that's amazing.
Right.
That's amazing. It is literally at $62,000 right now, a coin.
It's even crazy because last year when it was at, I feel like it was at 3,000 or 6,000 at one point. And I was like, oh, I don't know if I should buy, it's probably still going to go down or whatever. It's now if you bought, you'd be fucking making 50 grand on that investment. Jesus Christ.
Yep.
Off of one fucking coin.
Yep. Imagine the people, and I know somebody, that has been in it since the beginning, and he bought coins at 10 cents a piece.
That's absurd.
Right? It's crazy. It's crazy. This is the same guy that got me into cryptocurrency and said, you got to pay attention to this. I got into it much later in the game, but the point is that the opportunity was still there. Mm-hmm. Now, it's harder to get into because the money is so high. You could still buy a partial coin.
Yeah,
you got $100,
exactly.
right?
Yeah.
You can still get in there. That's the great thing about it. It's not like it's a closed door environment,
yeah, exactly.
a closed door system. But the regulations are coming. The regulations are coming, right? It's no longer the Wild West. This isn't like the gold rush anymore.
Right.
So, people are going to have to be much more savvy about what they do and much more open about who they are and what they're doing with their money, which is unfortunate because it's your money.
Right, exactly. And that was the whole point of it in the beginning, right? Was to release us from this connection to the federal system where we have to rely on banks and we have to rely on the government for all this interconnection.
It's a crazy topic. Let us know in the comments down below if you guys have made any money in crypto and what you think it is or isn't. We want to hear it, and hit the subscribe button. This beer has really got me today. Like the video, share it. We're watching the analytics, and this last video, we're really happy with what we saw.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, everybody, especially to all of our friends that are supporting us. We want to grow this some more, but share the video with some friends. Let them see it. This is a very hot topic for us because I still have skin in the game. I know you got some skin in the game.
Right. I've been trying to get involved for a little while now.
And so there's other things on the backside that we'll revisit this in the future as we get some more following. But it is definitely, God, man. I'm telling you. You'll be a middle-aged man. I'll be an old man. But by that time, it'll be a staple.
I think it'll be the world's common currency.
Do you think it'll be that quick?
I think. How long do I think? I would say probably in the next 50 years is in the time frame where we'll phase out of actual physical money and go 100% digital. I would say in the next 50 years is pretty reasonable.
I think you're out of the timeline on that one.
You think it's going to be longer or shorter? Shorter. Okay, yeah.
Shorter.
But that's what I was saying. Until the dispersion of all physical money, that's why I gave it a 50-year gap, because I figured it might be...
We're going to have to put a pin on this one for a minute, because we'll come back to it, because this is another conversation. I think you all want to hear this. But, it's not going anywhere. It's gonna.
That's for sure.
It's gonna be a huge part of our economy, politically and socially, and I don't think that anybody can make it go anywhere.
Yeah,
they can't.
I just watched a documentary actually last night, talking when it was first coming out, and the U.S. government was trying to figure out how to get behind it or shut it down or whatever, and these senators came out and said, "There's no stopping it.
No.
It's running on millions of computers around the earth. It's like even if you track down everybody who's running it, there's some guy in the basement with his laptop who's keeping it alive. Like there's no way to fucking kill it.
Yep.
So you might as well embrace it."
Right. So it's unstoppable.
Yep.
It's the snowball that's been tossed down the hill and it's rolling and it's getting bigger, right?
Yep.
And unless you get out of the way, it's just going to steamroll you. It's going to steamroll you. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there that just have no tech savvy experience.
Yeah.
And they can't understand it. But yet, the learning curve for the older generation, right? And I hate to say this because
you're old.
I'm getting there. It's easier for me to understand. So I know that people that are in their 60s and 70s are very much aware of technology.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like 20 years ago where, honey, can you make me an email account? That doesn't happen ananymore.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, yeah, it does.
But yeah.
It's rare.
But it's more reasonable.
It's like seeing a white deer in the woods.
Yeah.
I mean, smartphones are everywhere.
Yeah. My
right?
grandma's got an iPhone.
Right? So, I would say in 20 years.
Yeah.
I would say in 20 years or less, it's a staple.
Yeah.
It's a staple, right? Because you can actually put value to it.
Right.
There's actually invested trust into it.
Yeah.
Right? So, hey guys, thanks for joining us. We're going to come back to this.
Yeah.
Round 2, I don't know, here shortly in the future. Leave those comments. We want to see them. Thank you very much for watching, but unless the next round's on you,
we gotta go.
Cheers.
That does it for today's video, guys. Thanks for watching. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe to, that show.